Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Previous to this video, I've posted a grocery haul video and I've posted a what I eat in the day video. That's what it was. Wow. I wanted to post a meal prep video. This was filmed a few months ago and it needed a different intro and it needs an outro because when I filmed this months ago, I forgot to film an outro. I'm filming a new intro because in the video that you are about to watch, I make a comment about how you probably just saw my grocery haul, which is a different grocery haul than what I've posted. It was, again, filmed months ago during fall when like pumpkin spice was all the rage, and I just didn't think it made sense to post it now in February. It'll pick right up into me talking about how I'm prepping 2 different lunches, and then I ended up tweaking my favorite banana muffin recipe to make it lower points. I hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you again for the outro. Right now I have 2 different lunches going. One lunch will be 0 points, which is ideal for me. And then the other one I think will be around 2 if I don't add pasta. If I add pasta, probably 4 or 5. So let me show you what I'm doing. So here I have going the white chicken chili. This is 0 points. And I'm hoping that I will put this on for 4 hours once I get everything in there, and then it'll be done tonight so I can get that all set and in the freezer. So this recipe comes from foodahead.com. I will link that below. So what I did so far is I've only added 2 chicken breasts to my crock pot. To that I will add a whole thing of chicken broth, 1 can of corn. The recipe calls for 2 different types of beans. The first time I made this, I could only really find this at Aldi. Of course, this is from Walmart. But at Aldi, they only had this kind, and I liked it that way. So I only use 2 cans of these now. I'll be adding some random spices as well, but let me get all this in here and I'll be right back. To the crock pot, I added 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I did 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. It called for garlic powder, but I was gonna have to add salt anyway. I put 2 teaspoons of cumin and then this whole jar of green salsa or salsa verde. And then I mixed it all up. And I wouldn't normally cook this for 4 hours, but because it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I figure this will be done around 8. I will pull the chicken out, shred it, put it back in, and this will be good to go. So this was originally supposed to be turkey meatballs, but I wanted to keep it low point and I didn't want to add the breadcrumbs and the Parmesan cheese. So right now I have 97% fat-free ground beef. I added 1 cup of ragu sauce. The specific kind was in my grocery haul. I added 1 cup because I figured this will give me 4 servings, and a 1/4 cup of sauce is 2 points. The turkey is 0. And then I'm going to add this to these Green Giant veggie spirals. Now normally I would just spiralize these myself. I bought these a while ago and just kind of for the convenience. I'm sick of looking at them. So I'm going to cook these according to the package. This is 4 servings, so I'll split this into 4 different containers. I will split this into 4 different containers, and then this will be good to go. And then the last recipe I will be making will probably be either a dessert or it will be a breakfast. And I've never done this before. What I'm planning to do is take my favorite banana muffin recipe, which I get from allrecipes.com. The link will be below. And I'm going to replace 2 of the heavier point items on here. So I've read that if you have butter in the recipe, you can replace the butter with unsweetened applesauce, but just half of the amount. So this calls for 1/3 cup butter melted. So I will do half of that with unsweetened applesauce. The other higher point item is the sugar. The sugar is 3/4 cup white sugar. I have Splenda, which isn't probably the best to use. That's what I have, so I figured I will replace the sugar with that. And then I think if my calculations are correct, these muffins will go from a 7-point muffin to a 2-point muffin, which is way better in my opinion. So yeah, that's my plan. So I'm gonna give those a go and hopefully those will turn out okay too. Also in the background is my microwave. It's the zucchini cooking. So once I get this turkey zucchini mixture out of the way, then I'll start the banana muffin recipe. Want to hear a joke? That is supposed to be 4.5 servings of zucchini. That is 1 serving. Like, that's what I would eat as a pasta replacement. Annoying. So I do have leftover penne pasta from a couple nights ago. A 1/2 cup of the penne is 2 points. So the meat and sauce mixture is 2, that'll be 2, and that'll give me a 4-point lunch. That's about, like, ideally I like a 0 or 1 or 2 point lunch, but 4 points will be fine as long as I pair it with a lower point dinner. I get 23 points a day, but my nighttime is when I typically indulge in the points. So I try to keep my points fairly low as possible during the day. So what I ended up doing, first of all, I've already learned a couple of things from making this lunch. I would not buy frozen zucchini ever again. It smells. It's really watery because it was frozen, which I kind of anticipated. And it's just, I think it's better. Granted, I haven't eaten this yet, so I can't speak on the taste, but it just looks a lot better when I prepare it. So that'll be something I change. I'll just do it myself. I would bulk up the meat a little bit more too, so I didn't have any diced tomatoes in the cupboard. So I would add diced tomatoes, maybe some onion, maybe some peppers, just kind of more vegetables and things like that to bulk it up. But other than that, pretty sure this should be a 4-point lunch. I have about a 1/2 cup of penne, 4 ounces of ground turkey with sauce, random spices that I thought would go good in an Italian dish, and then the zucchini is 0, so 4 points. The other thing I wanted to mention too, the containers that I'm using are Hillshire Farm deli meat containers that I've just happened to save. I've checked the bottom, they say they're microwave safe. Ideally, I would like to use glass, but I haven't made that investment yet. So for right now, the Hillshire Farm plastic deli meat containers work just fine. Okay, I redid the calculations because I realized I bought a Splenda sugar blend and not just Splenda. So these will end up being 3-point muffins. So I replaced the sugar with that mix and then replaced half of the butter with unsweetened applesauce. These are gonna go in the oven at 350 degrees. The recipe that I usually make without tweaks takes about 23 to 24 minutes. So I will check on these in about 20. And that's where I stopped. I don't know what I was thinking that day, but no other clips were filmed. I have a clip that I'll do a voiceover for right now. It is of the banana muffin done. You'll see it's in a silicone muffin liner just because it's easier cleanup for me. They taste really, really good. If you like banana muffins, I would highly recommend you try this recipe. I will put the revamped version in the description box. I had a batch of regular muffins that were up in the freezer that I didn't want to eat because they were 7 points. And then I made this batch and I was so convinced that they tasted the same that I gave one to Chris. Like, I cut them both in half and gave the regular recipe to him, and then I gave him the updated recipe, and he was like, "Are you positive you just didn't give me the same muffin?" I was like, "No, I swear." And then I had to double check that I didn't give him the same muffin, but I didn't. My mom is now on Weight Watchers, so I recently made these and I gave her a few of them. She really liked them. My dad, who I would say is maybe not necessarily a picky eater, but he's like set in his ways, doesn't really like to try like revamped things. He likes what he likes. And he even said that these were really good. So if my dad likes them, I know that this is a recipe that is a go-to. It ended up being a 3-point banana muffin. You could get them down to a 2-point if you used Splenda or like granulated monk fruit sweetener, but just keep in mind that when you replace regular sugar with a sugar substitute, that you go on and make sure you're using the right amount, because sometimes certain sugar substitutes you don't have to use as much because they are more sweet, so you would use less. So just double check your measurement on that if you don't use the sugar substitute that I used. I also realized that I never showed you the finished product of the white chicken chili. So I don't have a video clip of that, but I do have a picture that I've posted on my Instagram. Again, if this is the first video you're ever watching of mine and you didn't find me through Instagram, know that I do have a Weight Watchers Instagram account, which I will put the handle for on the screen. This is a go-to recipe of mine. I have made it multiple times in big batches. Again, just like I did with the turkey lunch that you saw, I separate it into those containers and then I freeze them. So when there's a morning where I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm having for lunch, I just pull it down and I freeze them because I don't like to eat the same thing every day. So that turkey meal that you saw and the white chicken chili that you saw, I rotate between those. Now, if you were to look at my freezer, I have like 3 or 4 different meals in there, so I don't have to eat the same thing every day. But yeah, so that's a go-to recipe of mine. On Instagram, I see a lot of people using a 2-point white chicken chili recipe. I don't know who it's from exactly. I like this one because it's 0 points. And if I want that creaminess to it, then I just add a good spoonful of Fage Greek 0% yogurt. That's the yogurt to me that tastes closest to sour cream. And it's awesome. I will also say, since I've made this, at one point I was inputting my recipes into MyFitnessPal. The sodium content on this meal was ridiculous. So to help combat, oh my God, my arm. Jeez Louise. So to help combat that, now when I go to Walmart, I buy no salt added canned vegetables. That will help. I think a lot of the sodium was coming from the salsa verde. So I need to double check that. And if it is, see if there is a replacement that is lower sodium, because I don't want to have that much sodium in a meal. So I just need to figure out a way to bring that down. My shoulder hurts. Can I just film like this? Is this attractive? So with that said, I do have another meal prep video that I want to do. I get questions on my Instagram about my 0-point chicken burrito bowl, which is so good. So I will probably be filming that video within the next week or so. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. If there are recipes that you use for meal prep that are lower point, let me know what they are, because I like getting other suggestions from you guys. If you like this type of video, please give it a thumbs up so I know to keep making them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.